know that they're going to break into that portion of the gym, which they're allowed to do.
Mom, he's opening the door.
They're trying to take locks apart.
We're not gonna.
We don't want to leave it.
We want to leave.
Who changed the locks?
Internal affairs told us to change the law.
Hello good people, and welcome back to the Audit the Law channel. Today's video is a religion roller coaster, and it's brought to us from the church at Deerfield Beach, located in Florida. Now usually we don't delve into situations like this, but this doesn't just involve the church. It also involves the Broward County Sheriff's Office and how they are allowing break-ins, destruction of property, and other heinous actions, all while under the supervision of the Sheriff's Office. There is so much to unpack here, so without further ado folks, let's jump into the video.
They filled me in on what happened on Sunday night. Their attorneys are on the phone. I'll tell you this right now, sir. I'm Deputy House, and this is Sergeant Patton from the Broward Sheriff's Office. With that being said, we do not enforce any civil litigation that goes on unless there's a criminal aspect to it. What's going on here, as far as I'm concerned, and it's, to my knowledge, is all civil. Okay? This is what happens when things don't settle well in court.
Right.
So, what right do you have to come into this church and fire people? I'm just being blunt.
That's fine, because we are the elders of the church.
This right here, sir, this paper, without a notary stamp or anything of official documentation, how am I supposed to know that you didn't just go on Microsoft Word and make this right now? I can get that off Google.
The two people that are listed on there are the elders of the church. As far as the hierarchy of the church,
When's the last time you came to this church?
it's been since
August?
it's probably, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. It's probably been about August, yeah.
Alright, so you heard the deputy clearly state that this was a civil matter and not a criminal one, which is absolutely correct. These deputies cannot assist either side with their efforts, meaning this old man can't just wave a piece of paper around and state that he is the business owner of the church. This was already resolved in court, and the judge informed both parties to resolve the issue through the church bylaws.
This is the Sunbiz document that shows that.
Once again, sir, this is a piece of paper that you printed, and you might, and I want to believe you,
Right.
off Sunbiz,
Right.
But how do I know that this is not made up off of?
That was filed with the.
That's fine. I can get that made.
Deputy, Mr. Lund here is trespassing. I will let you in, but he is not to
So according to documentation that's been presented to me, it reflects that this gentleman is an elder of the church. Based on the information provided to me, unless somebody shows me something compelling to the contrary, which I've not seen yet, they are the elders of the church. Right now, I'm operating what's on Sunbiz. He is the elder of the church. As far as law enforcement is concerned, he has a right to enter this church.
He doesn't.
He on Sunbiz is the elder of the church, period. So this as a business makes him the de facto CEO, CFO, whatever he wants to be.
But he fraudulently filed that.
You presented your case, okay? Now I'm telling you what the facts are. I'm simply here to keep the peace. We're having a conversation, right? But as far as law enforcement is concerned, he is the elder of the church. He is the de facto manager, owner of the church.
But he
can come in the church. As the elder of the church, if he chooses to fire an employee of the church, that's his prerogative. We'll deal with that then, okay? So this gentleman's going to come in here and he's going to do what he's legally entitled to do. Once he does that, I recommend that nobody obstructs him, because then law enforcement may have to get involved. This gentleman's the elder of the church. That's it.
So, and what you're saying on Sunbiz is also is right now being disputed.
Okay, ma'am. He's the elder of the church.
But you're making the judge.
All right. So anyway, the gentleman's going to come in here.
He's not a member of this church anymore.
Right, he's the elder of the church.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Well, that's what Sunbiz says.
No,
So,
sir.
okay, I've said my piece. I've said what I had to say.
Give you a little background here. Two lawsuits were filed last year where...
Okay, let's move on from that. I don't need to hear about the lawsuits. Move on. I know about the lawsuits. Lawsuits are irrelevant to what we're dealing with right here, sir.
So you know that the court has determined that it cannot decide who's in charge of this church right now. If you know about the lawsuits, you know about the order.
Okay, all right, moving forward.
So what I'm saying is it's not particularly fair to say that this gentleman, Tom Lund, is an elder when it's both disputed and the court has made an initial determination.
Okay, well, guess what? Sunbiz right now says he's the elder, so I'm going with Sunbiz. Right now, Tom and Jack, it says, are the elders of the church. So law enforcement as an objective party is here for a business.
While I think Florida is an awesome state, this matter raises a lot of questions. Florida law, Chapter 196, provides property tax exemptions to eligible not-for-profit organizations that own and operate real estate and or tangible business property as of January 1st for the following purposes: religious, charitable. That means they already were classified as a not-for-profit entity, yet this guy tries to certify himself as the business owner. That's not how this works, and the chief is completely wrong here. He says that he must follow what Sunbiz has on their records, but Sunbiz are not the makers of the law. The chief technically has no jurisdiction in either direction, and that was clarified when the judge threw out any lawsuits and made it clear that they were to abide by their church bylaws to resolve this matter.
We look at the facts on hand, the information we have, and the information reveals that these two gentlemen are currently, according to Sunbiz, the elders of the church.
You're using the word compelling. And when Sunbiz says that their documents are not to be used for validity, they do not verify the truth of them. How is that compelling?
That's the most compelling thing I have.
Also, he said that he's going to let Tom come in here and fire me if he desires to. Right. Apparently, what the court say don't matter to the officers.
No, I don't have anything from a court. Show me a judge's signature on a document compelling something.
Okay. He said he can provide a copy of the order to you.
A judge's order that says what?
It says that this is a disputed issue of fact.
Okay, well, you know what? You know what might happen at best? Seriously, I'll tell you where I adapt and I adjust here, is maybe they both will have to be in the church together. But while it's in contention, then gee, everybody's going to have to figure out how to get along in this house of God, aren't they?
Let me circle back and look a little bit more and see what this guy is saying. track and make sure I'm not missing anything that would ruin the big picture for us. I realize.
I sent you the thing. He said to let you know that based on the order, you cannot assume that Lund is an elder or a member based on the order from the court, the court's order.
Well, I'm not assuming anything, first of all. I don't make assumptions, I make presumptions. Based on the best information I have at hand. So until a judge presents me something definitive, and if it's not what he emailed me, until a judge says definitively, this is who will be the business arm of the church, this is who can be here, and this is who can't be, it's all up for grabs right now, and that's where the objective line is.
And that's out of it's out of the court's
Okay, well then it hasn't been turned yet.
And our bylaws determine it goes to Christian
And it
arbitration.
has not until whatever, so what's the equivalent of the ecclesiastical judge?
Christian arbitration.
Okay, so has it gone to arbitration yet?
They've refused to go.
Okay, well, until that comes to fruition, that process, it's up for grabs, it's in the air.
Hey, Jeff, you want to come in your church? Come on in.
On the way. He's trespassing. Go, leave. He needs a court order. The police are on the way. Mom, he's opening the door.
They're trying to take locks apart. This has been going on for 2 hours now, and nobody's responded. Yes, ma'am, he's now inside the location. Now he's just standing here looking.
Not trespassing.
Okay, can you call Sergeant Shonda Martin, please?
She's with internal affairs.
I am here because of that, sir.
Yeah.
I'm here to explain to you, they both have equal rights.
No,
No,
sir.
they don't. No, they don't.
Sir, he has no
I
right
talked
here.
to Lieutenant Holmes, thank you, from IA, ahead of Shonda Martin. Thank you. So with all due respect, sir, and I'm here to explain to you again, you both have equal rights to be in the sanctuary and in the offices.
Here, he has no keys.
Right.
He has no keys, and he
Who
just.
changed the locks?
I did.
Oh, okay.
And-
So after you left us, when we said everybody's got keys, everybody's equal access, you went unilaterally to change the locks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's
No.
between you and your attorneys.
Internal affairs told us to
At
change
the
the
advice
laws.
of Sergeant. He left the church 7 months ago. The only reason he's here
we're not
is
gonna
because
rehash all this. We know
your
the story.
captain forced me to give him access.
Listen.
Coming in, don't shoot.
You know that they're going to break into that portion of the gym, which they're allowed to do. Why?
Who says you're allowed?
We're not interfering with what they're doing.
There's no need for you folks. Let's stay. We're not gonna.
We don't want to leave it.
We want to leave.
This chief is out of his mind to allow this. At no point does he have any justification to be assisting Tom with breaking into this building. Yet, because it's going to be better for the big picture for them, or so this officer says, then he allows these actions to take place. The chief thinks he sounds right, but in reality, his reasoning was all over the place. He keeps referring to Sunbiz, but that does not give Tom the right to completely vandalize and destroy property. If the judge says that both parties must resolve the issue through their bylaws, then that is literally the court saying there is nothing the government can do to assist either side, which should mean that government stays out of it, including law enforcement. Police don't need an order from a judge to not do heinous shit like this.
As we can see, they're taking the hinges off of a door, or attempting to. And I have asked the Sheriff's Office to stop it. The Sheriff's Office, based upon orders of Captain Hofstein, which are known and approved by the Sheriff himself and the command staff, are refusing to do anything.
Any calls to 911 will 100% be responded to, right? And no problem. And even if you call non-emergent, we're still coming, right? But I was just letting you know so that there's no confusion at all. So if you call, we're coming 100%. We'll make sure life and property is taken care of, and we'll document anything. And
it's your property. You can do whatever you want. Don't get me wrong. This is just advice.
Right. I have to say, this was a unique and foreign situation to us here. While we are not choosing sides on the dispute of the church, we are opposed to officers that act like criminals. The chief or senior manager basically allowed Tom to break various laws in order to allow him to take control of a situation that he should not even be a part of. This is awful and just completely wrong. As for us here at Audit the Law, we are not sure how to assist in this situation other than to point you in the direction of their channel and ask that you all subscribe. And if you or anyone you know has more information that could help these people against the tyrants at Broward County Sheriff's Office, then drop them a comment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching.